no more shower, no one anchor so I'll be a burden to you. No, we can't run the country like that. I'm saying all of this because I want you to look back, think deep, think about what has happened since 2021 to date. There's something in economics we call misery, misery, and there's an index how to measure misery. We call it misery index. It's very common in the United States. So you measure the standard of living. You can Google it and check it out. You measure the standard of living at any point in time in a country. Then in Zama, could drew the misery for you to know a hotel in the country. In Zamani being in the budget inflation. Inflation when we were leaving office in 2017, it was 15.7. It rose all the way to 54%. Now declining, but at what rate? Still double digit, over 20%. Now, number 2, lending rate. Equal bank never put your bossa or your head. Equal bank never put your bossa or your head. Now, high street banks on your microfinance or high street banks on your Susu road, on your commercial bank, on your rural bank, because you know now, you will struggle to get it at 48%. Now, up in business, and I don't know yet. No going at 48%. Profit employ him, no go to your interest, don't go to 48%. Where interest rate has got you to? Unemployment is part of the index. It's not going to the index anymore. It is galloping. In the Canina Buma, no, in 1983, now yes, again, and I remember in Parliament one day I said that I want you in there today, no, or your words are 1983. People didn't understand. I said, yes, what I'm telling you is the truth. Because in 1983, when we measured the misery index then was 33 point something. Today the misery index is over 42%. I want you now, Kosur. Ghanaians were surviving. Yamintra, we are just lucky. It's a which system on Yamuchaba. I was in Kumasi last week. Mr. Levi offended Kaduma, Moko, hotel at the petrol station. He beat Dinaminchen or be some day. Mr. Nina, also we are who achievable. I can't speak, so forgive me, I'm translating. And now, what's it? Offended. As I work, but they cannot show. Now, when I went here to my put the one then. On your own fault, because prices of goods and services and all cost. Meanwhile, inflation in them 54%. We salary increasing. No, your head. No, your head. So if inflation is 54% and you give me salary increase of 10%, then it means I am worse off by 44%. The purchasing power parity, I'm worse off by 44%. It means make salary actually by 44%. Simple. That's what it means. It means that I want to know about cost. I'm worse off. And it has been consistent since 2021 to date. And let me tell you this. I was doing some work for a friend. Nat. I remember my own Nat chairman. You know what has happened to you, Nat? Munsikana, what did you know what I Provident Fund. Do you know what has happened to your money? You don't know what has happened to your money. Let me tell you what has happened to your money. Munsikana, or you're not to full Munsikana, a pensioner, what's the amount? You know what has happened, you start reading. There's something called double whammy. Double whammy. Problems at the same period. First of all, as of December 2021, and the value of your money in cedis. So another citizen, you know, 6 cedis to $1. No? It was $103 million.
So CD equivalent, it was 600 and something million. 600 and if 103 equals to equals to 6, what will be the CD equivalent with the mass? So I think it was about 610 billion CDs. Back of the envelope calculation, about 610 billion CDs. Now, 610 billion CDC, no equivalent at the time was $100 million. Overnight, CD depreciated from 6 cities to 1 to 15 overnight. Then your city, what currency now, your provident fund, or reduce it. To about 40 something million dollars. You've lost about 60% of your money overnight. This is your money. Provident fund. The city depreciated. In the city, no depreciating, no equivalent, and this is what has happened to you. Then Provident Fund is going to what they are. What to factor investment in. And your own investment in what to contribute. By your own bylaws, also want to government bonds. In the way this is your Provident Fund and for pension, what to government bonds. Then overnight, I might be future. Do you know what happened? And also what's more haircut. Haircut and also so more punk when you're young, more busy. Straight. You lost about 40% of your money. Then the 60% took on 40% also. Boom. Then the future cash flows, which is the interest now, even over the to recover, and also future cash flows now, but recover, also will reduce it by 30%. So, what's the kind of inquiry there in approximately 100? Assume the watcher will be about $100. Now you are getting like $30. You will not see this physically because in your pensioner yet. But I am pensioner, when I work, I come on pension. I want to feel it immediately. When I were young ones now, man, I want to pension 20, 30 years time. Maybe we want to recover. But some of you going to pension immediately in the next 5 years. This is what has happened to you. When you go to pension and you expect this kind of bar, and then with the wedding mound or your mega, don't blame that. No one fault. Government policies. I said, I'm giving you simple examples, but I cannot show you. Our country, the direction of our country is in a bad way. Maybe I got a rope. Oh, you. I'm not missing words, and I'm telling you because I'm a front run politician. I'm a front runner, and it's work all the time. And I see these things. I come to my constituency. I see stuff. What is going on? That this democracy is failing. But you see, there's something we always get it wrong. In Africa, we don't punish people when they make mistakes. When you teach people, say it's school classroom now one. You survive because of discipline. Teacher, whose strength is for you to discipline your student. It is a EB or you know of the classroom around 8 o'clock. Let the baby do 1 9. The baby 9, then come with 1 8. Let's say what and come in now was slower. The next day, you pack on 1 9. I did another one bed for 1 9. Before I realize the classroom in a wood 1 9. Because you are rewarded in discipline. And the reward in discipline will be a little. Now, if Ghana put your contour back, now man with Ato, now what to about my body build from disturbing our livelihood and destroying Ghana. There's also control my own viewer. It says to represent the 2 major segments. 1, politicians will take us for a ride.
politicians will take us for a ride in the sense that we feel it there. Abanana beko akoto man gofon. Iya kono pa oboto amo. They be bi oboto amo. Why do I go extra mile? Please hold them accountable. In the same way, some of us, the life is now to what they will fight for Ghana. Because at the point I felt that just like somebody somewhere, our forefathers, the big sis and others fought for us, the mantle fell on some of us. And we felt that we should fight for Ghana. After seeing all what is happening, and we knew that it is wrong, but we have to fight. And we fought, and we've been fighting. And the last 4 years, me, if there's anyone who has fought this government into money paid in every meeting, I have fought, and I believe that I have defeated them. Because in Kayamu be in Kanzama Selkra. But the truth is, after all of this fight, now Ghana who was also for the year the yepeda wada in now the yepenti ya wa the yepawana, you get no one to fight for you again. Me, I won't fight again. And whoever takes over from me will say that Ghana for the there may be a bottle into one's one. And the government will have a field day, and they will misbehave even more, and the democracy will fail about time and a winner. So here, that I mean, hold politicians accountable. Hold politicians accountable. You are teachers. You are intellectuals in the society. Someone could cross the misery that the inflation here once I say it will take me about 1 day to explain. But I can disseminate this to you in a minute and you understand. You find a nice way to break it down for others to understand. But me better what I said. Say you mistake. Let's say even if we lose honorable power, it will not be punishment. It should be in such a way, even within MPP, they will go for a congress and say that, let's sit down and think again. They themselves will say that something has gone wrong. And tomorrow, when they get a chance again, they will not make that mistake again. I mean, they believe in it. That, for me, it should happen. And it must happen. It must happen for Ghana, it must happen for Ghanaians, it must happen to protect our democracy. That, for me, must happen. So when, sir, if it doesn't happen, I am afraid, but politicians will take the people of Ghana for granted. And if you advance democracy, we succeed in Ghana, the whole politicians are accountable. Because you see, so the vote will be to become president. Let's say hand over Ghana, in our democracy, the president is an elected dictator. That's how I call them. Because power is in our nature. All on our point to be our Ghana. Maybe our constitution will have to amend it. Because you see, what check Ghana power is now, I call the president of Ghana, President Wabesi now as elected dictators. Because the constitution, what the power is now showing you one person. Our point to be are you accountable for everything? My view, the time has come for us to hold any government accountable. When President Mahama was in office and there was doom so, you voted against him. Even though he was the one who was fixing the doom so, because the doom so was an accumulated problem from successive government. But he took the responsibility. Yet he paid the price for it. Now the way seen doom so equivalent the way what to Ghana free for the last 4 years. Please, for me, I'm not here to tell you about the policies we are going to do for teachers. Others will speak about it. But the reason why I'm saying this is that the fundamentals, the foundation of our democracy, the basics for Ghana's success, money accountability. Politicians must be accountable to the people. But some member one China may never cast a pay. That's a meeting because some crowd never balance and you casala. That's a good to my yard. I know what you are order. No, we'll be able to basis here. Please. So, in the meeting, I'm pleading with you. I've been everywhere in Ghana. Obviously because of my unique role as the leader of the opposition in parliament. I have to be everywhere, and I've been preaching this message. There are times MPs, because I've been in parliament for 16 years, a lot of them are my friends, even ministers. If the running mate was my colleague who went to parliament together, is my friend, all of them. And some of them calls me in the night and say that the truth is we have messed up. They agree, they themselves, they know they've messed up. They are aware. They know that if I bring Ajumako Enyan Essiam MPP executives na even Brown, why would you do yesterday, their former constituency chairman will defect from MPP to NDC or send them on support of bill because he thinks where they are taking the country, he doesn't want to support it. If women yet can't afford a bread, and some of us are here politicians are your villages, one day I have to fetch one or two of you to follow me. And you go to the villages. You call it babies in the not a da. We ambition. You will be them that will be the as to tell you. In fact, it's even worse in the cities. Urban poor is worse than rural poor. Until them started campaigning, Yamukoko, Accra, they said that Nipina, Kumasi, so say, hey, you better off. I'm telling you, it's tough. Life is tough. You will not appreciate it until you go down. Sometimes, you are better off. Things are not good for this country. It's a I think a vote for this against this government is a must. It's a must, and we have to make it loud. The next government, if it's my government, let's better now one. I should know that when MPP did similar, Ghanaians punished them, and so before you be over punishment, I should be able to convince myself. I should. And in the same way, if one person in my government is crashing all of us, I should be able to speak out against that person. To say that, Master Wuzuban, you crash all of us. That's how advanced democracies behave. Democracy. That is one of the attributes of a good democracy. Take Europe and American idea, or for people who are rebels. Government in the policy, people know, they are their own government. They speak against it. Ghana had wonder when you pass them to you. Sometimes I take a matter and I'm fighting it. I fight the man. It would be fear one MPP after that. So I didn't know for the point now. Yeah, support for the year to Mikasa. Send to Mikasa day. One edge to that day. What can we hear now? Or you know, Mikasa one year. They know it is bad, but they can't speak. That's how Ghana politics, unfortunately, this is how it has been designed. Some of the policies, I don't want to mention names, but some of them even comes as far as coming to my house to cheer me on. Support to sometimes you are taking a strong debate, fighting. Maybe one send you note that you will free. You understand? You understand? And it's not that they support what their government is doing, but you know, and if you allow these things to continue, please, and that's why I'm speaking to you, teachers. For this country to succeed, we need to hold politicians accountable. A few more examples to be. Last month, there was an election in a country called Mauritius. One economic crisis, but their government is mismanaging the affairs of the people. Poor governance. And the country, why won't go through? Why some small island in Mauritius or South Africa, so they are largely Indians, so they are in Africa. Indians also. And they were very angry. What point into the elections? You know what happened?
the leader of government is the prime minister. We use the prime minister system. We vote against everybody. Sitting government, you don't want MPs in one. When you have one seat in government, prime minister will see the seat. Everybody was wiped out. Then opposition took over. After emergency Congress, then we now won't go Congress. Now won't congress. The corner, what you know what the woman say in the history of the world, he didn't see that. The Obiane lose the DDR complete. Anger. Now, the new party or the new government, are you sure they will do the same? They won't. No matter what, they will not do the same. And I'll give you another example. There's a country called Sri Lanka. Those of you who are aware of Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia. Sri Lanka recent one situation into the Ghana. The president appointed his brother as finance minister, his sister as road minister, his cousin this, his nepotism. Now while run a country in a ground completely, inflation went just like Ghana. They defaulted in the payment of their debt. Sri Lanka. Then opposition and they were working for the people, they were not fighting for the people. They went to bed with the government. Because government knows this kind of movie. So when now when you are you know what happened? The citizens rose up. Were pro-opposition, were pro-Rabino for free, now were president. Then the Speaker of Parliament said their constituents were military. Then the Speaker of Parliament has to act until the election. And acted for 1 year. After the elections, local elections, the opposition lost woefully. The sitting government lost woefully. And Obia, no visa, only government emerged as the new president. Only MP group of parliament, somebody new emerged. Because they said that the opposition failed and the government has failed. So we now move on. Going forward, do you think opposition will also sit quiet? Do you think the government will also misbehave again? No. That is the attribute of Kenya in a democracy. You see, you can answer they voted against the Conservative Party as if there was no tomorrow. We'll lose if they with the wipe one out. The immediate past Prime Minister is close. Honorable Lucid in this seat. When now we vote against all of them massively. So one of the attributes of a democracy is accountability. I hear the word democracy succeed. I'm pleading with you. You are the elite in this constituency. And one wakawana wako schooler where you informed that we read that what better is you. And don't be swayed. If it's for nothing at all, let's hold this government accountable. If it's for nothing at all, it is not about may I want to support NDC. If NDC is misbehaving, I want to hear it doesn't matter. Or may I support MPP? It doesn't matter. It shouldn't be. Another may a party. I come from Central Region. As for us here, there's a Sanda Adechefari Akoha. I remember when I was becoming an MP first, in the Central Region, NDC MPs too.